to Season 4, the final season of our 2011 travel series. The next 6 episodes cover the last 16 days of our 52-day adventure, and we visit over 30 places. One thing we would like to mention is that when we make these episodes, there are lots of scenes we remember on our travels, but in fact we never film them. Nevertheless, we do manage to capture 90% of our fun on camera, and it's been a big challenge to compress 52 days of travel down to 6 hours, which in fact is made up of over 8,000 scenes. For our 2011 trip, we visited more than 120 places, in contrast with our 2010 trip, where we visited about 200. World power rulers can affect the behaviour of people over 1,000 years later. In 1514, Sultan Selim I captured the Persian city of Tabriz and dispatched his artisans to Iznik. They were skilled at making coloured tiles, and soon Iznik's kilns were turning out glazed earthenware unequalled in quality even today. So on the 17th of September 2011, Lillian bought one of these tiles and brought it all the way back to New Zealand, where it currently sits on her dining room table. How about that? And here it is right here. The big highlight for me in this season was the balloon ride over Cappadocia, regarded as the best ballooning experience in the world. If you're not into history and want to see something that's really different, then I recommend that episode. 80 kilometres west of Ankara, which is Turkey's capital, lies Gordium, the ancient capital of Phrygia. 3,200 years ago, it was ruled by King Midas, and today this man was the person referred to in the expression, the Midas touch. I wish I had that. Anyway, we paid a visit to his tomb, a fascinating experience, in one of the episodes on this DVD.
Goldfinger, he's the man with the Midas touch.
One of the things that interests me when we travel in the museums, you see a great deal of artifacts, old plates. You might wonder, when did man first realise he needed a plate? How to make a plate? How to fire a plate in a furnace? What temperature? Man started off very different to see how we see him today. One of the highlights for me was Çatalhöyük, where you saw man's first attempts at building a home. We have front doors and windows today. They didn't have doors or windows in those houses. They were built more like a chocolate block with side-by-side homes with no doors or windows, but you entered the homes through the roof, which the entranceway also served as a chimney. When you saw those, you realised man's come a long way, and those things were a highlight to me, looking back at how things started. Of course, there's always the wonderful hospitality you experience in that part of the world, something we could learn a lot from, and I enjoyed that part too.
Just imagine that you've spent your whole life trying to acquire something really precious and you could only get a small amount of it. Would you give some of that away to a total stranger, someone that you've known for less than an hour? Well, Ali Bulmush of Nicaea, today it's called Iznik, he did that. He'd brought back some dates and some holy water all the way from Mecca, a once-in-a-lifetime trip, and seeing that Lillian wasn't well, he gave some to her. Now that's hospitality. What an amazing experience that was, and what a great way it was to finish our 2011 adventure tour. Finally, a word from our sponsors. After you've inserted our DVD into your player, you'll get a picture that typically looks like this. You need to use your remote control to select the movie you want, then press the play button. We do this so that you can just simply choose the movie you want to view.